All right, this is a video on how to write equations for lines. Generally speaking, if you can write an equation in slope-intercept form, I'm more than comfortable with that for an answer. Once in a while, I will want it in standard form, but we can talk about that in a different video. So if you're given the slope and the y-intercept and slope-intercept form is acceptable, you really just have to take those values and put them into the equation, into the appropriate spot. So when you have the slope is 7/3, you're going to write 7/3 x, and the y-intercept is 5, plus 5, you are done. The next problem, it's pretty similar, you just have a little bit more work to do. It's not as obvious, but the y-intercept is staring in the face here. It is 2, so the b value is going to be 2. And then you have to calculate the slope. Starting at this point, ending at that point, how do I get there? I'm going to go down 1, 2. I'm going to run 1, 2, 3. So my slope is -2/3. Once you have those, you can write your equation. -2/3 x plus 2. And that one is done. These next two problems are a little bit trickier. There is a process to go through. I'm going to do this one here. So first I'm going to find the slope, which is the rise over run. The rise is found by the change in the y value. The run is found by the change in the x value. So the rise from 11 to 1 is down 10, and the run from 7 down to 2 is down 5. So if I put those as a fraction, -10 over -5, I actually get a slope of 2. So I found the slope. But I still don't know the b. The most common mistake I see is people just picking one of the y values and putting it in there. That is not the b value in almost every case. So what we do know is that we have the point 7, 11, or 2, 1. And we know that each of those contains an x and a y. And it doesn't matter which one we pick. So generally, pick the one with both positives, and if they're all positive, pick the one with smaller numbers. I'm going to take the 2 and put it in for the x. I'm going to take the 1 and put it in for the y, and that should look like this. 1 equals 2 times 2 plus b. How many variables do we have left? 1. And it's the variable that I still need to find. So we're going to solve our equation. 2 times 2 is 4 plus b. If I subtract 4, I get -3 equals b, and I have found my y-intercept. Once I have my slope and my y-intercept, I can rewrite my equation. 2x minus 3 is the equation for the line that goes through, I'm going to get rid of these lines here, goes through those 2 points. Now, parallel and perpendicular, let's do the perpendicular one. So the slope of this line is 2. Perpendicular slope, I need to take the opposite reciprocal. So I'm going to flip it and change the sign. So it was 2/1, now it's 1/2, and it's now negative. So this is the new slope. I'm going to write my equation. Y equals -1/2 x plus b. And I'm going to go through that same process, except I don't have a choice this time. I have 5 and 9. That's my point. I'm going to plug the 5 in for x. I'm going to plug the 9 in for y, because it's always x comma y. And I'm going to say 9 equals -1/2 times 5 plus b. A little bit of fraction work. 9 equals, this is really 5/1. Top times top is -5. Bottom times bottom is 2. 9 equals -5/2 plus b. So I'm going to add 5/2 to both sides. So I have 9 plus 5/2 equals b. And I'm going to say that 9 is equal to 18/2 plus 5/2 is 23/2. There's my b. Rewrite my equation. My slope was -1/2 times x plus 23/2. Common mistake is people always refer back to the slope of the original problem, but we want perpendicular, and that's the slope for the new line. That's the one we want. One last problem here. parallel to, so if you remember my little trick for slope, negative a over b for this problem would be negative 7 over negative 9, or 7/9. So there's my m from this problem. Parallel to that would be the same slope. So I'm going to use 7/9 as my slope. I'm going to use the same process to find the y-intercept. So 8 goes in for x, negative 7 goes in for y. And yeah, this one's going to be a little bit gross, but it's the same process. So negative 7 equals 56/9. I like to save a little bit of time here, and I get my common denominator right away. And when I subtract 56/9 from both sides, I'm going to add, I'm going to get negative 119/9 equals b. And I could rewrite my equation, y equals 7/9 x minus 119/9. That's a quick recap on how to write equations of lines.